Stop eating this daily food. The real impact of ultra-processed meals on your health. Have you ever wondered why the foods we eat every single day are making us gain weight faster, crave more sugar, and feel more tired than ever even when they look healthy? The truth is, the biggest threat in your diet may not be sugar, fat, or calories, but something far more hidden: ultra-processed food. It's in your snacks, your drinks, your breakfast, even in foods marketed as natural. Today, we're breaking down what ultra-processed food actually is, how it's engineered to hijack your hunger, and why scientists around the world are sounding the alarm. By the end of this video, you'll never look at grocery shopping the same way again. Ultra-processed food has become so common in our everyday lives that many of us don't even realize we're eating it. It shows up in our breakfast cereals, our snacks, our frozen meals, our drinks, and even in foods we assume are healthy. But behind the colorful packaging, the convenience, and the addictive flavors, there's an entire category of food that scientists are now warning could be harming our health in ways we never understood before. Today, we are going to break down what ultra-processed food actually is, how it's made, why it's everywhere, and what the latest research is revealing about its potential impact on weight, mental health, metabolic health, and long-term disease. This isn't about fear, it's about understanding what manufacturers don't put on the label. Because the real story lies not in the calories or the nutrients, but in everything added, removed, extracted, and engineered before that food reaches your plate. To understand why ultra-processed foods matter, we first need to understand how scientists classify them. Researchers use a system called NOVA, which groups food into 4 categories based on how much industrial processing it goes through. Category 1 is unprocessed or minimally processed foods such as fruits, vegetables, raw grains, fresh meat, eggs, and nuts. Category 2 is processed culinary ingredients. Items used in cooking like oil, butter, sugar, and salt. Category 3 is processed foods such as canned vegetables with salt, cheese, or freshly baked bread. And then there is Category 4, ultra-processed foods, the group that has become the center of global concern. Ultra-processed foods are not defined by being convenient or packaged. They are defined by the degree of industrial manipulation they undergo. These foods are created using substances not normally found in home kitchens: protein isolates, modified starches, hydrogenated oils, artificial sweeteners, emulsifiers, gums, stabilizers, coloring, and artificial flavoring. Manufacturers take low-cost ingredients, break them down chemically, then reassemble them into products that are engineered to taste delicious, last longer, and be extremely easy to eat. That combination low-cost, addictive flavor, and convenience massively increases consumption, often without us realizing it. Most people don't choose ultra-processed food because it's unhealthy. They choose it because it's everywhere. Ultra-processed products dominate supermarket shelves because they are cheap to produce, easy to distribute, and incredibly profitable. Many of these products require no cooking, no preparation, and stay fresh for months or years. They are also heavily advertised, especially to children and teenagers using bright colors, cartoon mascots, and emotional marketing that suggests these items are fun, convenient, or even part of a healthy lifestyle. But the deeper reason for this global shift is economic. Ultra-processed foods are designed to be consistent, scalable, and stable. Manufacturers can control every aspect of taste and texture: crunchiness, sweetness, saltiness, creaminess using precise mixtures of additives. These products are engineered to trigger reward pathways in the brain, making you want more even if you aren't hungry. Over time, this pattern reshapes eating habits across entire populations, replacing real food with industrially engineered alternatives. And as consumption rises, so do concerns about the impact on public health. One of the biggest findings from recent scientific studies is that ultra-processed foods may cause people to unintentionally overeat. Researchers have discovered that these foods are softer, easier to chew, and faster to swallow than whole foods. This means we eat them more quickly, overeating without realizing it. More importantly, ultra-processed foods often disrupt the hormonal signals that regulate hunger and satiety. They don't trigger the same metabolic responses that whole foods do, leading to higher insulin spikes, increased cravings, and larger fluctuations in blood sugar levels. Some studies show people ate up to 500 extra calories per day when eating an ultra-processed diet, even when the meals were carefully matched for macronutrients. This suggests that the problem isn't just the carbs, fats, or protein, it's the processing itself. Beyond weight gain, researchers are now uncovering a deeper link between ultra-processed food consumption and chronic disease. These foods often contain emulsifiers and additives that may affect the gut lining, potentially triggering inflammation. Some studies suggest that the body reacts differently to synthetic ingredients compared to natural equivalents, even when the nutrient profile looks identical on paper. The issue lies in how the body processes these unfamiliar compounds. There is growing evidence showing associations between diets high in ultra-processed foods and increased risk of heart disease, obesity, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. Foods high in refined oils, hydrogenated fats, or artificial sweeteners may affect cholesterol, increase triglycerides, or impact blood vessel health. And because these foods are often low in micronutrients, they create a dangerous cycle. High calories but poor nutrition, leading to deficiencies that quietly worsen long-term health. One of the most surprising areas of research focuses on the connection between ultra-processed food and mental well-being. Emerging studies show a correlation between diets high in UPFs and higher rates of anxiety, depression, and mood instability. While the exact mechanisms are still being studied, several theories are gaining traction. First, gut health plays a major role in mood regulation, and ultra-processed foods may disrupt the microbiome due to additives like emulsifiers and preservatives. Second, blood sugar spikes and crashes can directly influence irritability and emotional stability. Third, diets low in essential nutrients such as omega-3 salts, B vitamins, and minerals can negatively affect brain function. While UPFs are not the sole cause of mental health issues, the growing evidence suggests that diets richer in whole foods tend to support better mood, better cognitive performance, and more emotional resilience. The goal is not to eliminate ultra-processed foods entirely because, realistically, that's impossible for most people. Instead, the goal is to become more aware and make gradual, sustainable improvements. Start by recognizing common UPFs: packaged snacks, sugary drinks, instant noodles, flavored yogurts, chicken nuggets, processed meats, sweetened cereals, and frozen ready meals. Next, aim to replace 1 or 2 items with minimally processed alternatives. For example, choose plain yogurt instead of flavored, fresh fruit instead of packaged sweets, or cook simple meals at home using whole ingredients. One of the most helpful habits is reading ingredient labels. If a product contains a long list of additives, flavor enhancers, or ingredients you wouldn't normally cook with, it's probably ultra-processed. You don't need perfection, just awareness and consistency. Over time, your taste buds will adapt, cravings decrease, and real food becomes more satisfying. Ultra-processed foods have become a defining part of modern diets, but the science is becoming increasingly clear. The more we rely on these foods, the greater the risk to our long-term health. This isn't about guilt, fear, or strict rules. It's about understanding what we're really eating. Because once you know what ultra-processed food is and how it can affect your metabolism, heart, and mental well-being, you gain the power to make informed choices. You don't need to remove everything overnight. You just need to take the first step toward eating more real, whole, minimally processed foods. Your body and your future health will thank you for it.